Hello. May I read my story to you? It's called The Very Clever Caterpillar. Story and illustrations by Sylvie Blatch. Me. I hope you enjoy it. Once upon a time, there was a frog named Bertie who longed to have a friend, but every time he made a friend, he ate them. His tummy felt nice and full, but he felt so lonely. He became very sad indeed. He even cried himself to sleep. In the morning, he felt very hungry and began eating all the flies that passed his way. Even the occasional bluebottle went down very well. And then he spied a little egg beside him. "I wonder what's in this egg," he whispered, and then went back to catching flies. He protected the egg for several days from ants, slugs, and flies. The egg began to wobble around, and then it cracked. He was so excited. Out popped a wee little green caterpillar. "Hello, Mr. Frog, how's your day?" the little caterpillar asked politely. "My day's going well. I've caught many flies. My name is Bertie, and I'm always hungry." "You won't eat me, will you?" the caterpillar asked. "Why shouldn't I eat you?" the frog asked. "Because I've just hatched from my egg, so I'm thin and spindly. But I'm getting very hungry, little caterpillar." The little caterpillar realized she was in danger, so didn't stop to eat her eggshell. She had to think quickly so as not to get eaten. "Wow, look at that big, fat, tasty fly," the little caterpillar pointed up into the sky. "Oh, yes. Yum, 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 yum. Those flies are so tasty. Yum, 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 yum. Will you be my friend, little caterpillar?" "Yes, I will gladly be your friend, but you must promise not to eat me." "I'll try not to, but I get so hungry." The little caterpillar looked up at Bertie and saw a huge spider above him. "Look above you, Bertie," Caterpillar yelled out. "Oh, yes, a tasty spider." Yum, 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 yum. Buzz, 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 buzz. A little bee passed by. "Take care, little caterpillar. That frog will surely eat you." "Yes, I know. Thank you, Miss Bee." Bertie was contentedly munching on his spider. The little caterpillar ate as much and as fast as she could. To grow big and strong, she had to keep her wit about her to stop the frog from gobbling her up. "Oh, look, Mr. Frog, a delicious cherry for me to eat," she called out, trying not to look scared. "I like cherries too," he mumbled with a mouth full of spider. The little caterpillar jumped on the cherry and then saw a pretty bug. "Hello, little bug, who are you?" "I'm a ladybird," she replied. "I'm on my way to eat some aphids." "What are aphids?" the little caterpillar asked. "These little bugs, can you see them?" Yum, 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 yum. "I'm hungry," Bertie called out. "Oh, are you?" she replied, thinking fast. "Well, this cherry is very sour. It will give you bellyache. But look over there at that huge fat slug. He's feeding on fresh green leaves. Look, Bertie, even more slugs are coming. Fat, juicy, slimy slugs. What a tasty meal for you." "Oh, yes, yummy. What a big fat slug." The clever little caterpillar decided to throw her food around on the floor. This would attract lots of bugs, so he would always be too full to eat her. Oh yes, yummy, what a big fat slug. The little caterpillar saw a delicious apricot and swung over to it. The ladybird had ran home fast with a mouthful of cherry. The cherry also attracted a wasp that flew down. Look, Bertie, a wasp has come to sting us, the caterpillar cried out. The little caterpillar saw an apple in front of her. She jumped over to it. She was so scared of the wasp. The wasp eagerly ate the pulpy mess on Bertie's head. Once clean, he ate the wasp. A grasshopper came strolling along. The little caterpillar was deep inside the apple. Bertie was still chewing on his wasp. Take care, little grasshopper, that frog will surely eat you, a friendly bumblebee shouted over. A bug nibbled the cherry stem, making the cherry fall to the ground with a plop. It hit Bertie on his eye. Caterpillar came out to see what was going on. Bertie's face was covered with cherry juice. Hey, watch out, grasshopper, my friend Bertie will gobble you up. Grasshopper leapt into the bushes as Bertie did a whiz-popper. The tiny caterpillar liked the grasshopper and waved goodbye. Bertie was not happy. He didn't see the bug pinching the fallen cherry, but the little caterpillar saw him. Ants busily cleaned up the fallen apple pulp. Look over there, Bertie, the caterpillar shouted, pointing to the horrible orange bug. There's our cherry thief. The caterpillar hid inside her apple. She didn't like to see the bugs being eaten. The ants were in heaven as lots of apple pulp fell to the ground. Bertie munched on his bug as the ants took the fallen cherry home. Caterpillar fell fast asleep in her apple. She felt so tired. Bertie spat out the chewed leaf, and the ants had all gone home to bed. As night time fell, Bertie finished eating his bug and fell asleep. The insects tickled him, so he ate them all night long. Bertie was getting fatter and fatter. The little caterpillar woke up. She watched a little green bug walking along in front of the frog. I hope he doesn't eat that sweet little green bug, Caterpillar whispered to herself. And then she saw a millipede coming after the bug. She made her escape to another apple next door to her. For 2 weeks she'd managed not to get eaten. She and the frog were now true friends. She didn't realize how big she'd grown and had to grip tight to the apple as it swung round and round. The messy beetles were beginning to annoy Bertie. Fly fast, little green bug, fly high, the wee caterpillar shouted after her. Bertie was beginning to feel very hungry again. Caterpillar was so scared Bertie would eat the little green bug. But no, she was safe. Yum, 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 yum. The little caterpillar was feeling very sleepy, even though it wasn't night time. I'm so sleepy. Are you feeling all right, Caterpillar? Bertie asked, concerned. Oh, I feel so fat. I've eaten too much apple. Oh, I don't think I'm well, Bertie. Please don't eat me. I have to sleep now. Bertie was very worried about his little friend. Will you look after me while I sleep? Yes, little friend, but how long will you be asleep? I don't know. I haven't felt this sleepy before. Then the wee little caterpillar began to turn white as she spun round and round on the decaying apple. She's turning into a chrysalis, he heard the bugs say to each other just before he grabbed them. What's a chrysalis, he asked, but it was too late. He'd already swallowed them. Oh, wow, what's happening to my friend, he yelled as the apricot fell from the tree and hit him on his head. She's turning into a butterfly, Dumbo, a worm, yelled up to him. Oh dear, is she? I must protect her. She is my only friend. And then he thought to himself, what's a butterfly? Bertie just ate bugs. He didn't know their names. As night time fell over them, he cradled his chrysalis close. Bertie was too tired to eat the night bugs, so in the morning he was very hungry. He looked at the chrysalis. His tummy rumbled. Oh no, I'm not going to eat my friend, he scolded himself. Ah, fallen apple, a pretty little snail called out as she glided past Bertie's nose. So tasty, she whispered to herself as she gorged on the decaying apple. The snail was too big for him to eat after the 2 slugs, so he ate passing flies instead. And then the ants discovered the by now smelly apple. Oh no, the snail yelled, nasty ants! She quickly hid inside her shell. Bertie heard the snail shouting out her disgust as she passed. The ants rolled her quickly away. The worms rushed in to feed on the apple. Bertie was getting fatter and fatter. The ants made a deal with the frog. Dear frog, if you eat all these worms, we won't touch your chrysalis. Sounds good to me, so he grabbed them and gobbled them all up. The ants came marching in to clear away the apple to their nest. But by the time the ants had finished, he was hungry again. To his delight, he saw a spider's web, and in it he saw a trapped fly. The ants had all gone, and the chrysalis was safe, so he gobbled up the spider and the fly. After 8 days, there was a sudden movement, and 2 legs appeared from inside the chrysalis. He longed to see his little friend again. He shed a joyful tear. The old apple crashed to the ground, making a terrible din. He pulled his little friend away to safety. But when he looked back, it wasn't a little green friend that he saw. Who are you? You're not my little friend. Yes, she is, a friendly honeybee called out. She has just grown up into a butterfly. Oh, Bertie, look over there, those lovely juicy worms waiting for you to eat them. Oh, yes, you are my friend. Yum, 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 yum. Come away, little butterfly, it isn't safe. My wings have to fill with life and then I can fly. You're not going to leave me, are you? Bertie asked, feeling sad. Of course she is. She's a butterfly, the worm shouted over. Bertie burped loudly. Ooh, pardon me. Butterfly giggled over at him. You can't leave me. I love you, Bertie began to cry. The butterfly was unhappy to see her friend so sad. She took off into the sky. I know you love me, but my friends are right. One day you'll surely eat me. The little green caterpillar had been very, very clever. Bertie felt so fat he could hardly move, let alone catch her to gobble her up. Not that he would. Bertie knew she was right. He often thought of her as a tasty morsel. He felt so sad. All he wanted to do was cry. He even stopped eating, after his last mouthful of worms, that is. He's going to eat you. He's going to eat you. I will stay one more night with you, Bertie. You've been a good friend to me. I will miss you so much, he cried. In the morning, she was gone. Miss Bee kept an eye on him every time she passed by. Bertie felt lost. His little friend had gone. He only ate a fly here and there to keep himself alive. He was so sad. He was eating so little he began to shrink in size. Instead of resembling a fat brown monster sort of blobby, he was becoming rather handsome, for a froggy, that is. Cheer up, Mr. Frog, I'm going to find Caterpillar. I'll tell her of your sorrow. So she found her friend feeding on some flowers. She was not alone. She had fallen in love. Oh, Butterfly, the frog is still not eating. He misses you so much. He is getting very thin. The butterfly was so upset to think her friend was pining after her. He had looked after her so well. Tinky and Neighborhood Fairy heard the discussion and decided to help. The butterfly's husband refused to let her go back to the frog. He will gobble you up without a second thought. Your husband's right, dear butterfly. It's only natural, but I think I know what will make him happy. So they all put their heads together and made a plan. They found a huge spider asleep on his web. They all waited and waited for a fly to come along, and when it did, they all jumped into position to capture the fly. But then, to their horror, the spider dashed over to the fly. "My tasty, tasty lunch," he yelled out in delight. Tinky pulled up the web and expertly threw it over the spider. She tied the threads tightly and flew quickly over to Bertie by the pond. The butterfly off to find Bertie. She found him by the pond. "Hello, Bertie, how's your day, dear friend?" she asked. She was so happy to see he was looking so handsome. "Go away or I'll gobble you up," he shouted over at her. "Oh, Bertie," Butterfly cried, "I had to leave you because you would have surely eaten me if I stayed." "No, I wouldn't have," he sniffled. "Yes, you would," she whispered. "I will always be your friend. I love you. You protected me when I was vulnerable. Now I want to help you and make you happy. Come with me, I will show you what happiness is." "Please, will you stay with me?" Bertie sniffled. "Ask me again tomorrow, dear friend." "Oh, Bertie, you are so handsome now. You're not the big fat blobby you were before. Sorry I overfed you." "Come with me, Bertie. I've got a nice juicy fly for you. See, and we caught the spider too." "Hello, Tinky," he whispered politely. "How is your day?" "My day is good, Bertie, and so will yours be." "Oh yes, I'm very hungry." His tongue sprang out of his mouth to grab the offering, but it became stuck. He pulled and he pulled. He was getting very confused. "Pull, Bertie, pull," Butterfly encouraged. And then Bertie pulled the most beautiful lady frog he'd ever seen out of the grass in front of him. They instantly fell in love. Closer and closer they both pulled, which ended in the longest kiss ever. Tinky let the spider and the fly go. Bertie was never, ever alone again. They cuddled close together by the pond, catching flies all day long, so happy were they. As nighttime fell, they cuddled close together and lived happily ever after. Dear reader, I hope you enjoyed me reading my book to you as much as I enjoy putting my imagination down on paper. Bye.